Speak Between the Lines podcast.
The shit that's uncool to talk about,
we make cool to listen to.
Because we don't have that setup with this.
Oh,
so it's like, yeah, we kind of just got to record and then add everything after the fact.
Got it. Okay.
I'm hoping one day that they add functionalities where we can do the soundboard and stuff. But right now,
they would, especially since you want us to pay for stuff. You know, just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, for real.
They asked you for money.
Give us something, shoot. All right, let's get this more cracking. Speak Between the Lines podcast. I have no idea for episode.
Episode 142.
142. Cool. It's boy King Ave in the building.
Joined with J-Rock.
And we have a special guest. Our girl Black Girl Fly is in the building. What's
Y'all
good?
let me come back. I'm so excited.
Man, I wish we could have had you back sooner. Yeah.
What you mean? You always welcome.
I'm gonna just tell y'all why I wasn't on, the last episode I was supposed to be on.
I didn't know you was gonna tell this story, but I'm gonna go ahead with you.
Just don't take product from people's purses in the middle of a day party. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't put. I mean, she handed it to me from her weekend, so I can't really be sure who made it, where it came from. But this was my friend, so I trusted her. I was like, "Cool, we having a good time, not a problem." It didn't go well, but I did find the best vegan pizza in Dallas that night. I stumbled up on it.
Dope.
So that was nice. And a friend of mine drove my car home, which was great.
Dope.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, so I was supposed to be with y'all, but just yeah. It was just bad. I was just trying to get my life together the next day after taking some medication from someone that I shouldn't have taken.
There you go. See?
Oh my God.
Yeah. The week we were supposed to have you on, and you hit me, was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it." I messaged them. I was like, "Hey, y'all, my listen's not gonna be able to hop on." And they were like, "Oh my God, is she okay? Is everything all right?" I'm like, "Yeah,
no. Check on her.
Okay.
Go check on her."
Like, yeah, she cool, I guess.
It didn't go well, but I appreciate Abe was definitely checking in on me. He was like, how you feeling today? It took a couple days to come down.
It did.
But it was something. But no, Abe always looking out, always checking.
Yeah, man, you my dog. I feel like the intervals in which we have you on are too wide.
I agree.
Widespread. I feel like we need to have you on a little more frequently than we do.
I agree. It's a lot happening in the world. We could have a lot to talk about.
I'm just thinking about all the conversations that we've had in the past that your insight would have, added value to the show. So, cool. Man. Yeah, it's all good in the hood. But glad you're here. Glad we're able to get you in. I feel like today's going to be a really good conversation to have.
Yeah.
Oh man, how's everybody, man? Rock, you good, bro?
Man, doing good.
I guess we should say Rudy's not here. We don't want to get too far into the episode without
surprise.
He's okay.
2 weeks straight. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, no, like for real though. We actually need to mention that Rock held it down last week by himself.
By yourself.
Dolo.
Yes, solo dolo.
Yes.
Dolo. Rudy was caught up at work. I was on a flight to Vegas.
Okay.
And Rock was like, the show must go on.
I love it. That's
man.
And I did see you were in Vegas. I did see that on your story.
Yeah. So
out there with no mask on in Vegas.
Bullshit.
He ain't have no vaccine shots.
Nah, man. I masked up everywhere, dude. Vegas was a trip. I mean, of course there wasn't that many people. It's a lot of people there now because of March Madness, but because it wasn't a lot of people, and I guess because we came off of a year of like cleanliness and washing your hands, like being like walking through Vegas. I don't know. It was like kind of dirty to me a little bit, but I don't know. It was cool though. It was cool.
Where'd you stay?
We stayed. Oh my gosh, we didn't even stay. I think we stayed. What is the name of that hotel? The Hera, something like that. It's on the Strip, but man, just something. Ashley's sister-in-law found it, and we just sat there for a few days, but nothing too crazy, nothing too spectacular. But it was cool though. It was cool.
How
I'm
much did you
sorry.
win?
I had a shivering dog run in here and just sit under my I'm like, is it raining? What's wrong with you?
It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be bad today, actually.
Okay, I mean, he like you should see him shaking. Like it's
Really?
we could throw some ones at him. Like wow, he's afraid.
You said throw some ones at him?
We could. This baby is over here afraid right now. Oh my god!
Throw some
my
kibbles and
God.
bits. Yeah, man. The weather's supposed to be pretty crazy, I think. When I got off work, they was talking about a chance of tornadoes, large hail. All
Really?
It's supposed to go down. Yeah. Hey, the homie.
You see him shaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do actually. That's my dog. That's not the one that gets out though, right?
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah, as you can see.
He likes his cushy beds and his toys.
Where's the other one at?
Back there with my niece cuddling.
Oh, okay.
Get down.
That's what's up, man. Well, I guess we could jump into wins and losses. We were talking about an event that I don't know the name of it, but I did want you to kind of talk about that event because every year that it's happened, I've been gone. I think this is the actual. I think it's this. Is it this weekend? It's not this weekend, is it?
Oh, Celebration of the Arts. What you talking about?
Yeah, the Celebration of Arts. Yeah. My fault. I should have said that. Yeah, the Celebration of Arts.
Yes. So this is it's this week on Thursday. This is the third year, so it is an event that a group of young Black professionals in Dallas we put together to bring in performers from all over Dallas. Actually, last year we had a couple performers that came in from across the country. But they come in, they gift their talents to us. We have DJs, food trucks, like our host, just a good vibe, and we always have it at Sandaga, like the jazz capital of Dallas, right? So. And all proceeds actually go to scholarship funds for youth in Dallas. So last year we gave out 2 scholarships on Juneteenth. This year we're actually shooting for 4 scholarships for our kids who are coming out of high school. So, I think all of us were probably recipients of some type of financial aid. That's how I got through undergrad. That's how I got through grad school. And so, now that we have resources, we try to, tap into our networks to put these kids through school.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's this Thursday. We're going to be in there. We actually just got approval to have the in-person event at Sandaga. So just super excited, super ready for it to come so I can enjoy it and then be over it because I am tired, y'all. Okay. He's pushing me out of my camera shot. Jeez.
You know it's a lap dog. You might as well go and let that mug sit in your lap real quick.
He's 50 pounds. What lap dog do you know?
Yo, it's the big ones that be wanting to be lap dogs though.
And he forgets. I had him when he was a puppy, and I think he thinks like, hey, you used to hold me.
Right.
Do it again. Like, no,
exactly.
You're 6 now. You're grown. You should have a cell phone and a credit card. Like
yeah, man, that's cool. I mean, I gotta know. See what time it is. I think we have. I want to say we have an interview Thursday, but if we don't, I'm gonna definitely come out there.
Yeah.
Every time that has happened, we've been on the cruise, and this is the first year that we're actually gonna be in town. So, yeah, man, that's dope. See, I never knew what the behind the scenes of it was about.
You just thought it was a party.
That y'all was kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Just
being real bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Hanging out, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
which would be cool too, but the fact that you guys are doing all that other stuff, providing fun for college and stuff, that's really dope.
Definitely a party with a purpose. So it's from 5 to 8 on Thursday. But no, like if you can't come, like we do have an opportunity for people to donate or sponsor. So we have folks that, can't make it or traveling or whatever. And they just drop a few bucks here and there. So, we aren't pocketing anything. Everything that we do is going to these kids, and our fundraising efforts actually gets matched by the national chapter. So if we raise 5,000, they'll give us 5,000. We can give out $10,000 in scholarships. So the more we raise, the better for us, for sure.
For sure. Well, yeah, let me know what that information is because I'll definitely support it, even though if I can't make it. So
yeah, for sure. Cool.
Already. All right. So wins and losses, dubs and L's, Rock.
So I got to win this week. So this is my first time going to Crazy A Barbecue since I've been in Texas. It was actually pretty legit. This is like one of the best barbecue spots I had. Because a lot of barbecue out here is really mediocre that y'all say is good.
Don't disrespect Texas barbecue like that.
Yo, it's really mediocre. Like this was like one of the best ones I had so far. It
Crazy
was,
Eights.
Yeah, it was in the Colony.
You getting barbecue from the Colony?
Well, I was invited out there.
Face.
Yeah. I've had winners. I've had places in Oak Cliff. I've had Pecan Lodge. I've been trying to find a good barbecue spot.
But Crazy Eights in the Colony was the one.
That's
so
what
far,
I'm saying. The Colony?
So far, that was a better one.
Who owns it?
I don't know. That's a great question. More than likely so. More than likely so. You're probably right, Abe.
Being way up there, got to.
Okay.
But it was good though. You said right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Okay. What? Man, that's interesting, bro. So you're saying that this spot is the best spot that you've had. You've named some dope spots. Like you named Winners. Winners is pretty popular in Dallas.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna put out like Soul Man's or something. I would have been like, yeah, no, that's not good. But like, what are you looking for? Like, define good barbecue to you, bro. Like, what does that even mean?
Man, it's like it for me back home off the grill. My father, my uncle, like best barbecue I've ever had in my life. And compared to that, what I had here is like, it's not the same.
It's not
like
the same.
so. Aside from Winners, a lot of barbecue here is more commercialized. You know what I mean? It's not just that all day smoky flavor.
I can understand that. I can understand that. So you want your barbecue to taste like lighter food.
So yeah. I want to taste and know that a pure alcoholic made this. You know, I know all your life problems from eating your food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he poured beer on these ribs right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This man was 5 months late on rent with these ribs. I need the ribs to tell me a story.
Yeah, with his toes out. And the sandals. The uncle sandals, bro. Yeah.
He's cooking with linen and his toes out.
All day.
That's okay. That's what's up. I looked it up online. I mean, it has quite a lot of reviews, bro.
What's the name of it? Crazy Eight?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Eight? Oh,
no, it's hard. Was it? Hard Eight Barbecue.
Hard Eight Barbecue.
Oh, what did I get Crazy Eight?
Mm-hmm. He said Crazy Eight the first time.
Oh, so you said
I can put down
hard,
okay.
Hard.
Hard Eight Barbecue.
Oh, Hard Eight. I thought you said Hard Eight. Okay, Hard Eight.
Yeah, bro. I'm looking at these pictures, Dottie. Look a little dry. But you said it. Yeah, you said it's good though, bro. I trust you.
It was good.
I'm never like up that way. I was gonna say like I'll swing by, but the Colony is probably like an hour for me.
Nigga,
that
it was an hour for me. The only reason I went because my brother invited me, so I went out there.
That's cool, man. That's what's up. Maybe they'll DoorDash or something. I caught a win. I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier. I mean, we went to Vegas, got away for a little bit. It was cool. It was different because this nigga Rudy just showed up in the chat. I'm sorry, that threw me off. I wasn't expecting to see his name. Vegas was cool. It was different because it was a family event, right? So Ash was there, my daughter was there, and we kind of did family-based stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was cool though. It was cool. We got to kick it. We went to the Hoover Dam. We went to what is that place? M&M World, and like made M&Ms with our faces on them and stuff. And it was cool. It was cool. It was. I
need to see pictures of the M&Ms with faces on them.
No, yeah, I thought I posted one on Instagram. I guess I didn't, but I'll send y'all one. It's yes, it was light, but it was fun though.
It sounded light.
Yeah, no, it was. It wasn't the typical Vegas, gamble all your money away.
No drunken nights involved.
No,
hey, let's get away. Nothing.
Get a room on the other side of town. Nah, man.
You can tell everything that happened in Vegas on this trip.
Everything.
Yeah,
there are no secrets.
No secrets.
We got off the airplane. We took a cab.
Went to Hershey World.
Okay.
So yeah, it was cool. I mean, like I said, not your typical, Vegas trip, but it was fun though. And I had to realize, I'm with the fam, so I really can't do too much. But it was cool. We did go to this place called Nacho Daddy. That the food was pretty good, but they have a scorpion shot that you take a shot.
I saw that
with a scorpion in it. Yeah.
Didn't I see that on a movie?
I don't know.
How was that? How was that scorpion shot?
It was interesting, bro. It was interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably won't do it again, but
and was the scorpion alive in the
hell
glass?
no.
Okay.
Hell no. And his finger was cut off too. So yeah. That's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, we hear.
Did you have to chew it?
No, thank God. I did not have to chew it. Because I don't know if I would have been able to do that, to be honest with you.
I was just thinking about the crunch. I was like,
yeah, no.
Is that ice?
Hell no. No, if I would have had to chew it, I probably would have lost my mind. So yeah, nah. It was quick to the back. You know, it fought its way. You know, it tried to stay up, but it was
you bold. You should have got a video of that.
I do have a video of it. I hadn't gotten the courage to post it yet.
Send it to us. We want to see.
Y'all wouldn't do it? You wouldn't do it?
No.
What?
For what?
Y'all are fun. Y'all talking about Vegas.
You went to the Hoover Dam. You have fun. What you
right.
The Hoover Dam was fun.
And shit.
This man taking pictures. Oh, really?
The Hoover Dam was fun. All right.
We not fun.
This man. Oh, I saw Bumblebee. I saw him with Prime here. Fuck out of here.
I did say I was like, yeah, you know what, this was cool, but I need a trip where it's like either just me and Ash and we leave Alani, or like a guy's trip and we just kind of just go out. Because it's different when you have responsibility, right? Like you walking around the strip, you got your daughter, you got your wife there. You know what I'm saying? There's homeless people walking around. There's a whole bunch of people that you don't really know. You know, people walking the strip late at night. So your awareness is heightened. Where it's like, look, I'm just trying to make sure that we get wherever we're trying to go to good and we get back to the hotel good. So it was solid.
That's fair.
They gotta go to sleep at some point.
They do.
Take your parents.
I didn't even gamble. You say what?
Take your parents. Let them watch it.
You know what? Ashley's mother-in-law came. Not her mother-in-law, because that would be my mom. Ashley's mom came. My mother-in-law came.
Oh, okay.
You should have been out there.
Why she didn't watch her?
She did, but then at the same time, like they were kind of like all out with us together, and then there was times where like it was like me, Ashley, and Alani out. So
taking scorpion shots.
Alani was with us when we did that too. So
that's good. Introduce her to the world. That's good.
Man, look, I don't know if I would take a kid to Vegas again. It's like too much that's popping.
Yeah.
Especially if it's Vegas at 100%.
Like spring break Vegas, or yeah.
So yeah,
that's fair.
It was different. So.
What are those? Lonnie, close your eyes, Lonnie.
Those was out there too. They were out there too because we was like having to guard her face and stuff. I was like, oh, see, this is too much.
It's Vegas.
It is. Look,
it is Vegas.
That's where people go to let loose.
Facts.
That's how you get Kevin Harted. In Vegas.
He got caught up. God, dog. I forgot all about that.
They buried it.
Was he in Vegas when he got caught up like that? Yikes. God bless that man. They're still together though.
So. Yeah, absolutely.
She know what she married. when she said I ain't going nowhere, I said.
You knew what time it was?
But I see you said, I mean, you know how rich Kevin Hart got money.
Stacks.
Right? So she knew what she was getting into. Like, and she was pregnant at the time.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Winning. She knew she was going to win. That girl could write her check.
Really? So is that it? Is the trump card, is money the trump card when it comes to
for her
like that?
And for certain women? Yeah, I think so. Like, I think we've probably talked about this on this show. I genuinely didn't know there were women out there looking for men with money. Like because I've always been taught to work, get my own, be able to stand on my own 2 feet, and then be with someone who can bring as much to the table as you have. So that was always my focus. But as I got older and I started being exposed to more, I realized like there really are women out here who are looking to be taken care of. That's what they want. So it's, let me get the ball player. And honestly, you know, when I found out, I was probably in my late teens, maybe 18, 19. And the NBA All-Star weekend was in LA. And I start seeing this influx of women come in LA. I'm like, I ain't never seen these girls before. Like, the hell's going on? Every beauty salon is packed, every nail salon. And I'm oblivious, right? I'm like, what is going on? And literally, I was downtown. There was going to be a party that Thursday night. And I see these girls. It's cold in LA, by the way. It was one of them few weeks where it drops down like into the 30s at night in LA. These girls cross the street with damn near nothing on, going to this party. And I'm like, the hell is going on? And then it clicked finally. I was like, oh, they out here trying to get chose.
Thanks.
Like, got it. And that's when it hit me. Like, there is a subset of women out there who that's what they're looking for. And once they get it, where I'm going. Like, I got your baby, and don't marry me, because now I'm really about to stay in it. So yeah, when she said she wasn't going nowhere, I thought to myself, well, I mean, she got what she wanted, and he probably can have whoever he wants as long as, he don't mess up the image. So I wouldn't be surprised if there have been others since Vegas.
Facts. Damn. I mean, that's a good point though, man. Yeah. Some people just get that. Some people just get that pass like that. I don't think I would be that fortunate enough, to be honest with you. To
get the pass to cheat?
Yeah.
No, you would not.
I was gonna say, just don't try it. She's like, now you got the pass.
Oh,
now you got the pass.
Nah.
Now maybe you start slanging some jokes and get some Kevin Hart money in, maybe, but like, don't try your luck, bro. Like,
boy, this podcast gotta get popping.
It's not even on my radar. I'm super chilling right now.
That woman loves you for you.
But you know what? That's actually a good way to put it out there. Hey, man, go to listen to this week's podcast and let me know what you think.
And get cussed out? No, I'm
like, hey, I'm not. You can't do that shit.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna skip over this part. Matter of fact, like, yeah, you don't even need to hear this. You don't need to hear this. Yeah, part.
I'll blame.
Edit it.
All right, that's what's up, Melissa. How was your week? When W or L?
Yeah, I'm a claim a W. My grandmother will be 90 tomorrow. Man, such a blessing to have her. So I am actually flying out to LA on Friday. We're doing a huge, well, it was supposed to be small. It turned into a huge birthday parade for my grandmother. So it's freaking awesome. At first we were going to surprise her, but my grandmother is a lot like me. She likes to plan her days. So I told my sisters, I was like, nah, we got to tell her, because she might be planning to bake 15 cakes on Saturday. Like, we got to tell her to be rested up for this party that we're getting ready to have her. So when I was out there a couple weeks ago, I just kind of mentioned it. I was like, hey, we're going to do something for your 90th. And like, she lit up, right? Like her face lit up. Like, oh, damn, she excited. And so she was like, well, what are we doing? And I told her, she was like, well, make sure you tell so-and-so to come by. Like, she started running down her homies.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and then, she was like, well, make sure you get me a hair appointment. Beatty can come to the house. And, she's just excited. So we rented a throne, like a huge gold throne, and got a black and gold runner. Uncle gonna barbecue. My grandmother has a cake business. So I don't know if you guys have ever had the cakes that I bake, but they're her recipes.
We haven't, and I feel some type of way about that.
I got y'all. I gotta make one this week, so I'm just going to make two. Y'all split it, okay? A lot of butter.
Split it.
So, yeah, no, you got to split it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give y'all a whole cake because there's a lot of butter and a lot of sugar in it.
Is it? Oh, that sounds good.
But yeah. So as a party favor to her guest, those of us who have learned her recipes are actually going to bake cakes, and she doesn't know, but we ordered custom boxes with her new logo that she never had, that will kind of present to her guests. So super excited about it.
Nice.
Just really glad that the family is able to celebrate her after she's had a rough 2020 as well. So yeah, just excited. I'm like I said, I'm tired, but all for good causes. So I can't even complain. Like I'm excited. Yeah, to be able to celebrate 90 and hopefully 95 and 100 and 105 and whatever else you want to do.
Yeah.
That's my win for the week.
That is what's up, man. 90 years. I mean, we're not there. We're nowhere near it, but man, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of history. That's
a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot of wisdom there.
It is.
Yeah. We were talking when I was home, and she just be dropping stuff. And I've always been very close to my grandmother. This is my mom's mom. So I've always been very close to her. Actually, I grew up in a multi-generational household. So it was my grandmother, my mom, us, and then at one point my nieces lived with us. So at one point we had 4 generations under one roof. But she's like, she just says stuff, and she's so like introspective, which I've always loved about her. She sees herself first before she judges anyone else. And so she was talking to me. She was like, I think about how people view me, and I know I'm difficult to deal with, but some people don't even know they're difficult to deal with. And I was like, maybe I
not wrong.
An assessment every once in a while and see how people view me, because the same way people get on my nerves for not doing things the way I would prefer, I probably irk them for being structured or not picking up the phone for days at a time. Like, there are probably things about me that irk me. And so she always got nuggets. So I'm definitely just excited to get with her. And see the family. This will be the first time the family has gotten together probably since my mom's service. So it'll be under better terms this time. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, that is so beautiful. I hope that when I'm that age, if the Lord allows me to get to that age, that I have that chunk of knowledge and wisdom that I'm just able to just pour out, dude. Because I know we had gotten into this thing where we were like attempting to like record our grandparents and all this stuff, just kind of interview them and stuff, and just see like what they know, like their history. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that if you're not exposed to it, or if you don't ask, you won't really find out. And so me and my sister, we kind of got into this mode of like interviewing our grandparents, and just the wisdom of just that they just have to offer is it's crazy, man. I just hope I'm not a bum when I'm 90. That's all. I say all that to say that I hope I'm not a bum. That's all.
Nah, you don't have bum tendencies, so I can't see it. But
stop it.
I can point out some people who probably gonna be 90-year-old bums. They don't do nothing. Sitting up all day, like, what have you done today?
Ain't done nothing.
Ain't done. But be claiming tired, Jay. Be claiming that they are exhausted. And those of us who actually do shit be like,
why?
Exactly. Like, how are you tired? You ain't doing shit but sit up and not do shit.
I cooked dinner, cut the lawn while I was cooking dinner, barefoot.
All that. What you done did?
Nathan, they clean out the barbecue pit. You talking about you want some barbecue? Come on now.
Go get the groceries at least. Like, you want me to do
something?
Look, we could talk. We could have a conversation.
Oh, man. See, that's. Yeah, nah, let's not. Because we can definitely dive into
Stay on track.
Exactly. So good stuff. Yes, happy birthday to your grandmother. That's super dope. Super dope. Take a bunch of pictures, which I'm probably sure you will. And I hope it's amazing.
Pictures?
No pictures?
I'm gonna take pictures. On this day in particular. I should have hired a photographer. Damn it, nobody reminded me.
You still got time. It's Saturday.
You still got time?
Do I got a friend that be taking pictures? I'm thinking about it. I need to go through my Instagram, see who got nice photos.
Yeah.
Come through.
For sure. Yeah, just pull up iPhone. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's all we need, really.
That's all we need. Nothing fancy. Don't blow your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Man, NCAA tournaments popping. That's here. I'm gonna just kind of talk shit about my team real quick.
Okay.
University of North Texas, Mean Green. Well, not this week, but we talking about last week with the upset, man, against Purdue.
That was it. You was proud of that, huh?
I was proud. I'm proud of my team. We gotta ask what about Villanova this week.
That's all right.
That's neither here nor there. But first NCAA tournament win of school history, dude. That's what's up, man. Yeah. It's been a lot of upsets. I don't know if y'all follow the NCAA tournament.
Will there be a second win?
With North Texas?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was already a first L.
Well, no, I mean, next year, will this be something that they continue, or just going to be like a one and done? Hey, we made it. Peace out.
Man.
They hit that 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
It's been real.
It's been, hey man, you know what? A lot of the starters were seniors, so I don't know, man. We're gonna see. The junior squad will have to step up. But what's been interesting and what's been in the news about the NCAA tournament outside of all the upsets that's been happening is the discrepancy of how the women's NCAA teams are treated versus the men's NCAA teams are treated. And I think I was in Vegas when this story actually broke, but I was seeing just the pictures. If nothing else, I was just seeing the pictures. Like there was one picture where like the men's workout facility was stacked all type of ways.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to work out legs, you can work out legs. Upper body, they got you. Lower body, abs, whatever. Women's, they had about like 8 free weights
that they had to share.
they had to share.
64 teams.
64 teams, man. And I was just like, yo, that's pretty insane. But that wasn't even the worst part. I mean, the worst part, at least to me anyway, was the food that they were being served. It was damn near a step up from what they were serving in jail. At least what I've seen. You know what I mean?
The plates they had them on, like they looked like they had to stand in line to get, Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I know, Marlissa, you kind of spoken, but have y'all like been in kind of what's going on with that, or? Oh, I thought you was gonna ask if I've been in prison. I was about to say no. I wouldn't know.
Have you served time?
I could have sworn that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, what's up, Melissa?
Melissa was like,
no, but
say Melissa was like, yeah, like even the plates. I was like, you know about the plates?
But have you been in? Story?
Right, like what you go to jail for?
I don't exactly know when those pictures got released, but I remember, of course, I got it from Twitter, right? I got on Twitter, saw something was happening with the NCAA, so I was like, oh, let's see what they're talking about. And when I saw the video of was it Oregon's forward who posted the video, I believe.
I don't remember.
I think the lady who posted it, she plays for Oregon, but and I'm thinking before they even pan to that, that tower of free weights, that there's gonna be something, right? Something. And when I saw
it's not funny. It's not.
It's terrible. Yo,
but it was fucked up though. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, damn, bro.
When I see this tower, which thank God it was fully stocked, right? Of 8 weights, I think the heaviest may have been 25s, maybe, right? And then there's this stack of yoga mats in the back that says like, sanitized.
Yeah, sanitized mats.
And I'm thinking, well, she's gonna pan, and there's gonna be more.
It's gonna be some. It's gotta be something in this background.
Else.
And so then I look at the men's room, and I mean, they have like these squat towers, right? Like these power towers with the good bumper plates, right? If anybody's ever like been into lifting weights, those bumper plates are hard to come by, especially in COVID times. So they're not out here with the cast iron plates that could crack the cement. Like they out here with the nice rubber bumper plates.
Exactly.
They got benches everywhere. And even for me, I looked at the personnel that was in the room. Like there are people moving and shaking in the men's weight room, staff with reflective vest on. They just look very official in there. And then she's like, well, then they said it was a space issue. And then there's like a circle of chairs on the other side of this room. And I'm thinking, well, the NCAA, they had to have known that they didn't double up on the order of racks. Or did they actually set the women's racks up in the men's facility thinking that they all belonged over there? Then I was thinking, who did the order? Who checked it? Who looked at because all of this is a business, right? So somebody had to okay the budget. Somebody had to okay the invoices. So when whoever okayed the invoice saw a single, and they maybe didn't even buy them, right? They may have been from somebody's house in San Antonio for all of you.
Yo, somebody bring some weights up here. Shit.
Someone may have donated those. So maybe
Dead
it was an
ass.
oversight, but it took me back to when my sisters and I started playing sports, you know, in LA, right? A very liberal place that we grew up in. Like we had to play on the boys teams because there were no leagues or there were no, you know, kind of park leagues for kids that were just for girls. So even as little girls, we had to like find our way in the sports world and figure out how to play with the boys. And even then, right, like dealing with comments from boys about how girls shouldn't be playing basketball or whatever. Right. And so it starts at such a young age that I think we're all used to there being discrepancies. But I mean, this level of difference was just flat out disrespectful. It was you saying that y'all are really just here so we can make Title IX requirements. And, you know, I get it. The women's sports do not bring in as much revenue, but that is why Title IX is there specifically at the college level. So that regardless, each gender is going to get the same opportunity. And I get it. Football and men's basketball is going to bring in the revenue for any university worth their salt. I get that. So they fund the other sports. But there are still Title IX rules that say, I don't care if it's the track team, if it's the curling team, if it's the swimming team, you are supposed to treat athletes the same regardless of their gender. Like, I can promise you the tennis team ain't bringing in much, but I can also promise you that the women's tennis team would not be that highly disrespected if there was like a major championship for tennis. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot that needs to be done. And then for the NCAA to come out and say, oh, it was a space issue, it wasn't a money issue. Well, she put y'all out on that. So you come up with something else at this point. And then for them to come back and say, well, we rectified the situation. Now, I haven't seen any new pictures of what they put in there. But for me, come out and at least say, you know what? Y'all right. We made a mistake. This is a problem. This is an issue. We know it is a known issue that women don't get the respect that they deserve. We've seen Serena fight to be called one of the greatest athletes of our time. And she is. But that was after they called her a man. That was after they called her trans. That's after they called her ugly and everything else. And she still got out there and whooped ass while she was pregnant. And finally, you know, she got her due. But it's just crazy. And that food, and there was the food, and the swag bags that were just like,
oh man,
crazy different. Yeah, I mean, the men had, you know, shaving gel and razors and lotions and potions,
all type of stuff.
Like little bottles of Crown Royal. And I'm thinking, these women got a towel and a water bottle pretty much and a pat on the back. Thanks for coming. Like, come on, y'all.
That is awful, man.
Come on. But yeah, and also I do think I'm a big proponent of the people with the power are going to have to be the ones who ally with those of us who don't have it. So, you know, I feel like there were a lot of pro athletes stepping up and saying, hey, you know, this is not right. But I also think that the men who play in the NCAA, they need to be better allies to their female counterparts, because honestly, those universities listen to them because they make billions of dollars off your legs and off your backs. And so I really do think that those men also have a responsibility. They're in college. I get it. They still trying to grow up, but they got mamas, they got sisters and aunties. At some point they may have daughters. They need to step up and say, you know what? Like, nah, I'm not playing until I know that my sisters over here on this side of the aisle get what they're due. And those schools will listen because they know that revenue comes in from y'all dribbling that ball. And from y'all getting out on that field. So yeah, I really do think that I wanted to hear more from, you know, the top 10 men's basketball teams and the stars who we know are probably NBA quality. Yeah, who those schools and those executives are going to listen to. I really do think they have a responsibility to speak up too. And I get it. It doesn't affect them directly, but they have the power. And that's the only way we make change, is if our allies who do have the power actually say something for the rest of us.
That's good. That's real. That's real. Yeah, man. Top 10 teams. It's too bad that most of them are out because they got upset by lower seeds, but
March Madness be like that.
It'd be like that now. But that's a good point. You know what? I actually forgot about the chairs until you mentioned it. Man, it was more chairs than weights. Like, are you lifting weights or are you playing musical chairs in it?
I didn't know what they were going. Were they trying to make an indoor track with the chairs? It was a lot of space.
It was a lot of space. And I guess, and Rock, I want you to get in on this. Mm-hmm. And you kind of, Marlis, you kind of touched on it. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why is it hard, or is it hard for a thing such as the NCAA to have stuff even kill? Like, we got the weights over here, boom. We got the food over here, boom. For both genders, like, why is it so hard? I've seen a lot of people making a money argument online, like, oh well, you know, the NCAA, the men's, they bring in more money for the school or whatever, what have you. But at the end of the day, like you said, that shouldn't matter, especially at that level. It shouldn't matter at any level.
Federal law that was put into place to make sure that, hey, regardless of advertising revenue, TV deals, whatever, these women get their due. And the other thing is those arguments broke down immediately because they were like, well, the women don't make as much money. Well, neither does the track team. But the money that they're bringing in from the basketball and oftentimes the football teams fund the rest of the sports. Yeah. So, like, if that's the case, you know, the track team shouldn't have shoes or, you know, or be able to go to their track meets. Like, so if that's the case, shut everything down outside of men's basketball and football, which is always going to be the highest revenue drivers at any university.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My thing is weird seeing it because you would expect it if it was 1999 when it was first integrated. It literally looks like this was the first time that men's and women has been integrated. But this has been going on for decades now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we still at this point? I can see that they just started bringing women's basketball, women's soccer, women's anything to a competitive level.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've been here, that there is women athletes, Serena, who's like, okay, tennis is big. There's a lot of female tennis stars, so you shouldn't have it. You have women's NBA and consecutive championship runs. Again, I get the popularity standpoint, but from a college standpoint, I don't see where the difference is. Because, like, from a high school standpoint, our girls team was better than our boys team historically for like a 10-year stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Our girls team went to states consistently for 10 years. So when they went to high school game, it was for girls, not boys. So I don't see why we're still in this mindset where there should be a difference, where it's to this extreme.
I mean, I think I hear what you're saying, but I think it all goes back to the fact that we are still a very patriarchal society, right? Very so, I mean, you know, you can have women out here killing the game, killing it. Say your basketball team, right? I went to Crenshaw, the women's basketball. Well, both basketball teams were always fantastic, but the stark difference in the attendance, in the support, in the funding. I mean, I remember even like playing in a game one day and being like, why we don't have cheerleaders? Like, we winning, they not. Like, shouldn't y'all be cheering at our games instead of theirs?
Right.
Wow.
And for me, it made me realize that, like, the value was placed on men in sports, regardless of how good we played. And yeah, we see it here. So it didn't surprise. And I saw this on Twitter, like, you know, female athletes or former athletes were coming together. Like, any woman who's ever played sports is not surprised by this. Like, we know this to be true. Y'all are just seeing it for the first time. Yeah. You know, kind of like George Floyd, right? Like, black people been knowing y'all been out here killing us in the streets. We just got you on camera this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
And so yeah, this was not a surprise for any woman who's ever had to endure, you know, being considered less than or less valuable in a physical arena. And I think the question, Jay and Ave, should potentially be, why don't men support women's sports the same way that they do men's sports? Like, why is it that you're not buying season tickets to, you know, the WNBA games, or like, what is it?
Right.
Like,
right.
Think through that. Like, one of my favorite, Kobe, Derek Fisher, like, look how, like, they are stark supporters of the WNBA, right? And I think Kobe was such a loss for us because he was showing us the value of girls in sports who turn into women who go into sports. And I mean, you got one of the best players to ever live coaching girls. He wouldn't even fool boys, right? He put all of his energy after retirement into coaching girls. And it was such a big loss because I really do think that he was going to be one of those allies to truly bring eyes to women in basketball and women in sports, period. But, you know, I would say y'all question yourselves, question your boys, question your brothers. Like, how can I do my part to make sure that, like, you know, I advocate, I support, you know, I go sit my ass in a seat and watch the game and cheer and buy the popcorn and put it on social so people know that, like, it's not awkward or weird to support women doing something just as well a lot of times as men can do it. It may be more graceful. It may not be, you know, as
alley-oops.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, right? Like, remember when they fined Lisa Leslie for dunking the first time?
I do remember that.
Right?
I do remember that. Yeah.
So here you go. You have women starting to play power basketball rather than graceful basketball, and they fined her for it. So I'm like, you know, y'all say y'all want more razzle dazzle. Well, she gave it to you, and they were like, "Give me $50,000 for that." Like, what?
Yeah, that's actually wow. That's actually very true. It's like they're trying to put a ceiling on women's basketball or women's sports, period. Right? Like you say, we're not this, and then like you said, when we do this, it's like, well, no, you can't do that. There's an image that you guys want to keep as far as the NBA is concerned.
Yep.
And man, you know, that's actually a good, you said something extremely powerful. And as I tried to get my point off, my daughter walks into the room needing
That's
something.
right.
Getting them grams. Get them
Buy
grams.
you some season tickets, baby.
Yes.
My fingers.
Okay. All right, baby. Here, you want some Teddy Grams?
Yeah.
Grams on deck.
What, baby?
But it's not open.
Okay, well, just open the box. There you go. All right. Thank you. Close my door, please.
I got to do this. My finger hurt. You want some candy, baby? You want cookie, baby?
You want Teddy Grams?
Dad is bleeding. Give me the box. I'll open it. I know you bleed.
You gonna find her on the ceiling in about an hour. Watch.
That's cool. As long as she comes crashing down when it's time to go to bed. That is perfectly
God.
fine.
Dad is bleeding. Yeah, give me the box. I'll open it. Shit.
Oh my goodness.
But that's actually a really good point. And in y'all's conversation, what you and Rock were saying, I was kind of just thinking about all these questions. But Marlis, you make an actually really good point. We should start supporting more women's sports as well. And I'm really a proponent of this. I was actually looking for the WNBA hoodie, the orange one with the homegirl on it, but I can't find it in larges. Like they've always been sold out.
Wait,
and so
who's on it? Which hoodie is this?
I don't know. It's the WNBA hoodie. It's orange and it has a woman on it. I want to say she's doing a layup or something like that. I've been looking for this because I've been wanting to, like you said, try to support more women's sports. To be honest with you. So I mean, yeah, I think honestly, I should be a question.
It's a pretty nice hoodie.
No, it's dope. It's dope as hell.
Actually, a pretty nice hoodie.
I can't find it anywhere. I've been looking for it for about 2 months now, and I can't find the shit anywhere. And Fanatics hasn't been able to keep them in stock. But no, you're right. We should. And I don't know if it's because I have a daughter now that I'm looking at things more differently. And it's never been a thing that I've been against women's sports because that's never been a thing. But at the same time,
it's not on your radar either.
Right. And it's more of taking action to actually support these different sports. You know what I mean? So that's actually, I mean, that's really a good point. We should question ourselves because I think, Rock, you had said something earlier where I want to say that you said when we were talking about kind of how money, what like men's bringing in money for the NCAA. And I want to say that you said something about what's different with the NBA. Why? Why is it different in the NBA? You know what I mean? I mean, men bring in a lot of money, but why can't that money be shifted and redirected towards some of the women's teams and the women's sports to kind of give them, I mean, a fair opportunity just to make money doing what they love? Because that's the thing, right? Like all these men's sports, they make money doing what they love. I mean, yes, we want to watch the men. We want to see LeBron dunk. I mean, they got the revenue dollars from all these major companies and all that stuff, but why is the top salary for a women's player, like why is it in the $100,000? Like why is that? If it's even that, I want to say like the average is maybe $50,000 for a WNBA player.
Yeah, where you have to get another job too and still go travel.
And still travel and still bounce around and still play, and you're playing because you're doing it you're doing what you love, right? Like you can't make a sustainable income off of it unless you have sponsorships.
What's crazy, the worst player in the NBA is making more money than the best player in the WNBA.
That's true. And you're right. I mean, you think about the fact that they have to go play overseas during the off season. That's wear and tear on their body that if y'all ever play sports, like, it's just hard on your body, your joints, your feet, like everything. So you're leaving one season to go play another season that thank God you don't have to, train for or necessarily get in shape for, because you stay in shape all year.
Right.
But yeah, it's hard. So you also think about like, okay, their careers could very well be cut a lot shorter because they're playing year round. They don't necessarily get an off season where they can kind of recuperate and do the rehab work that's needed when you're playing sports at that level. So it's a lot. And for me, I think it speaks volumes to all of the other inequalities that women will see in other arenas. But, we don't necessarily really talk about it because then the world will gaslight us and say, oh, well, it ain't that bad,
Right. Right. Exactly.
or whatever. So, yeah, it's it didn't surprise me, but it was good to see someone actually speak on it and, coaches speak on it and professional players. I wanted to see the NCAA players do more, specifically those who were highly recruited and will not have their scholarship snatched by saying something. And yeah, just really wanted to see. And also I wanted to see ESPN admit some fault, because ESPN Sports Center, as much as they covered this story, they never said, you know what, we're part of the problem by not covering these games, by not putting them, by not even talking about them on our shows. Right? Stephen A. gonna sit here and talking about, oh, that's disrespectful. When do you ever play a highlight from a WNBA game or an NCAA women's game? Like, when do you ever call one of those players' names? So don't sit here now and act like you're surprised when you're actually part of the machine that has pushed them out of the spotlight by never saying anything about them.
That's very true. They'll talk about LeBron James year around. Yep. But you'll never hear them mention hours.
Debate and scream at each other about it.
Exactly. All day, every day, but not even mention any WNBA highlight.
Yeah. So they're part of the problem. And I'm on their Instagram story. They're like, the NCAA need to do better. Bitch, you need to do better. Like, don't do the pot, kettle. You heard them? Like, don't do that.
All that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. You really opened my eyes up. Like I said, I was never against women's sports at all, but I think I'm going to actually make a more conscious effort to attend some of these things, and take Alani and stuff, and take my daughter. I mean, take Ashley and all that stuff, because we should be supporting these things. We should be supporting these sports. They should be talked about more.
Yeah, and I'm with you. My sister and I, before I left LA, like, we would go to Sparks games. My sister was a much better ball player than I was. So, she wanted to go to games all the time. But, when I moved here in Dallas, that was something I was thinking I really needed to do was, and the season tickets ain't, for WNBA games, ain't nothing. Right. So you can get some season tickets for little of nothing. So I think when the world opens back up, Abe, I'm probably going to do the same and just make an effort to, and you can make it an evening. Like, you can go to dinner, go to a game, pop out, and because everything is right there around restaurants and bars and stuff. So it ain't like it has to be a task, right? It could very well be a night out of you doing something fun.
My movie's going on.
Your movie's going. Okay, baby, hold on, give me a second. Very true. Very true. Do you think that
you better get that baby what she needs?
Just like my movie's going off. Okay.
Find her another movie.
It's Netflix. Like it doesn't start automatically. Okay, babe. All right, give me a second. I'll be right in there. What do you think? So, what do you think will need to? So, do you think something changes after this event? After this instance, do you think something changes?
No. Thank you, Rock. No.
No.
And the reason why I say no is because the whole men trying to get paid through the NCAA has been going on for years now. Mm-hmm. If they're not willing to pay the men who get the money, who bring the most money for the schools, why don't they change this? Like, in order for this to be changed, it would have to be massive boycotts on men and women. Like they have to be hit financially for them to change.
That you said it. They got to get hit in them pockets. That's the only way things change. And you are absolutely right, Rock. It is going to take the men who are bringing in the revenue to say, you know what, we sitting down until you do right by them and you pay us. Like, and there are, I think, was it the UC system in California was like, we're going to start paying our athletes.
Yeah.
When I found out that like star recruits were eating ramen for dinner,
crazy.
Like my boy Raymond, he told me he played for UCLA and then went and played for Colorado. And when he told me like his struggles and not being able to buy underwear and, like dinner, I'm like, what? You literally give your body to this university to make money off of
every Saturday, stadium packed.
But, I mean, you think like he would tell me about his practice schedule, right? And he was a running back, so like he had to go lift. He sometimes be on the track. He had regular practice, then trying to get these classes, tutoring, which was required for all the players. And he would tell me about his days, and I'm like, that's 2 full-time jobs.
Seriously. No, that's actually a good point. Like that's not some shit that we wouldn't do that now. You know what I'm saying? In our adulthoods, working all that just for just to do something.
Just opportunity.
For opportunity, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they're kind of driven off the fact that this could get me to the professional level.
I think that's part of it, right? They know that this is so for football. Well, I guess football and basketball now, because basketball, you should just be able to go in. But I think was LeBron the last to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, they know that this is the gateway into the NFL. So they know they have to go through this step. Like colleges are kind of the gatekeepers of the NFL. So I think you're right. I think that's part of their mindset of, hey, if I work hard for 2-3 years, develop, get big, make some big plays, get seen, I can get into the NFL. But I also feel like there are probably players who were there like, well, my family can't afford a degree and this is the only way I'm going to get one. So I'm going to go kick this ball.
Yeah.
56 yards and see if I can get this engineering degree to make some money. But yeah, it's tough. And I do think, I always thought that star athletes were like, and I will say, I do think the best of them are living well. Mm-hmm. Whether that's them getting stuff under the radar, help here and there, whatever. Like, I'm not going to call his name, but I remember one player specifically from Oregon played in a Rolex, a gold Rolex. And I was thinking, now I know where you're from because you're from where I'm from. How'd you get a gold Rolex?
Right. How'd that happen?
Like 5-star recruit, right? They knew he was going into the league and he did. He's still in there. But then I look at Raymond, my boy, 3-star. I think, no, he may have been a 4-star recruit. And he can't even eat dinner. It's crazy. It is crazy.
We call that pimping. We call that pimping.
You say pimping?
Mm-hmm. You out there, you go on that field.
So you got the bottom
back and forth.
You got the rest of them.
You gotta get that bottom bitch status.
That's right. Unless you a bottom bitch, only bottom bitches get to go Rolexes. Don't play. But yeah, no, I think you're right, Rock. I think it's really going to take them getting hit financially for anything to change. And sadly, that means a change in mindset of people seeing women's value, not just in sports, but in any arena. And so I think we're a long way away. And I hate to sound like a pessimist, but this is someone who has lived as a woman for almost 33 years now. So, you just kind of, how it is, what people see your value as.
That's so unfair.
I will say, being a Black woman, I had to learn very quickly that a lot of things were going to seem unfair for me. Because if it ain't the woman thing, it's the Black thing. And so, I had to learn very quickly, like, not to let myself feel like a victim. There was this huge kind of community that came together when this NCAA story broke. We were just kind of like, women just kind of deal with it because we know what it is. Like, women know to carry their keys with them when they're walking to their cars. We know to text each other when we get home, when we're out late. We know to go in pairs to the bathroom if we're in a strange place because we know what the world holds for us. So it's unfair, but it is also very much life for us. And sadly, your daughter is going to grow up knowing that, right? Like her mom is going to teach her, like, hey, when you go out with your girls, you make sure, you call them and make sure they get home, or, don't let nobody watch her drink. You watch her drink for like it's just all these rules that we have to protect one another, because that's just the way the world works for us.
Wow. That's insane to me. Because I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. But think about it. That's your privilege, right? You don't have to think about those things. Yeah. And as a Black man, you have other things to worry about.
There's layers.
Right? Yeah. You have other things to worry about. So yeah, like for us, it is there's this whole other thing that we have to think through.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm just processing because you said a lot.
Man, that's why I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's definitely layers. Like kind of how like we see white privilege, right? And it's like, how are they able to not see what we go through? How are they able to not see this? How do they not see that this is bad? And then there's another layer of really Black women, to be honest with you, that they have their own experiences. I mean, it's women and then Black women, they have their own experiences, their own battles that they have to deal with, that as men, unless we hear from them, we don't necessarily understand it. Because a lot of stuff, we kind of just see it, and we just see it for what it is from the level of where we are. But we don't, like I said, we don't know how that makes Melissa feel or Ashley feel or Erica feel, you know what I'm saying? Unless we're provided that information, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I guess
Abe, you having a daughter now, I think, you'll start to see things because you want to protect her.
Absolutely.
Right? So you'll start thinking about, like, when she's old enough to go out with her friends, the first concert she ever goes to, like, you're gonna think through all of the scenarios,
right?
And I think for the first time you're gonna understand, like, damn, like, these are all the things I'm gonna need her to think through, and these are probably all the things that other women have to think through every time they step out on the street, every time. And so I actually do think it, and it's sad that it takes, I think, men being attached to a woman for it to happen. But it's also not your fault because it's not your reality, right? It's not something you have to deal with on the day to day. But I do see a lot of men, all of a sudden it clicks when they have a daughter or a niece that they're really close to, or a little cousin, where they start thinking through these things that they've never had to consider before because, y'all just go out and go to the bathroom by yourself.
Now that I'm hearing him play, damn, it's fucked up, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I've been in a place where I never had to think about it. And
one of the main, I would say, if y'all ever have been around me and my girlfriends, we never leave each other without saying, hey, text us when you get home. Like that is just, and we will wait up. I don't care how drunk I am. If I haven't heard from every person I was out with, I'm calling. I'm seeing where you at. Did you make it home? Because there's so much that could happen between the moment you leave me and the moment you make it into safety. And so it's something that just comes out of us, right? Like, I need you to confirm that you got to a safe place when you left here. And I don't know if men do that, but it's part of how we have to look out for each other.
Wow. Well, like for me, it's like I'm more so thinking about, did you get stopped? Did you get pulled over? I'm not thinking about all the other things because that's the only immediate danger that I can think of.
But that's different than your white counterparts, right? I bet they don't text each other like, hey, Abe, let me know you made it, without the cops messing with you, right? Like, so again, layers. Like that's a layer that you have where it's like, okay, I'm with a group of black men. Let me make sure that the cops didn't fuck with none of them on their way home. And that everybody made it home without being shot. So yeah, that you kind of get it, but for us, there's the cops and crazy men out here on the streets. Yeah. Right. So
what, because I feel like this is important. And I know we kind of came and we had a pre-production on a lot of shit that we was going to talk about, but I feel like this is, like I said, really important. What do you feel, Melissa, should guys do? Like kind of how we were talking about the NCAA thing, right? Like he was saying, hey, well, guys, you need to think about like supporting WNBA sports or more women's NCAA sports. When we're talking about this, what is a step that we're either seeing being taken by guys, or what do you feel should be done by guys who just even understand the position that you guys are in? And I'm talking about, when I say guys, I mean, of course I'm talking about me, but at the same time, I got a wife who's black, I got a daughter, so I'm getting into that stage of really looking at things from their perspective. And then, of course, I mean, honestly, I've kind of been in that because I was raised by all women, mom, daughters, mom, grandmother, sister. So that's kind of been my reality. But even throughout my entire life, I still have never understood it to the degree that you guys deal with it at. So even with somebody like me and somebody like Rock, who has never thought about this, what is something that we should be thinking about, or something that we should be doing, an action that we should be taking as far as, just, I guess, being more aware of things that you guys go through as women, as black women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just listening without trying to refute their experiences. So, a lot of times I'll say something and a man be like, oh, it's not that bad, right? And it kind of makes you shut down and not necessarily want to say a whole lot. And we get the same thing as black people, right? The world will tell us, oh, get over it. Y'all fine. Y'all got affirmative action now, whatever. So, I mean, I think, listening to women and their experiences, because it's my experience that most women will not lie about the things that they've seen and gone through and the things that they've experienced. So a lot of times when I hear women come out and say, oh, I experienced molestation or harassment or something, I believe it because I am a woman and I know what it's like to work in a corporate office where men will, say things quietly as they pass behind you or, try to solicit you. I've been there. I've been in those situations where they push the limits and they test your boundaries to see if you're going to say anything. And if you don't, well, I'm going to take it a step further the next time. So I think listening to women and really just hearing them out without, hey, you sure you didn't take it this way? Or you sure you didn't take it the wrong way? You sure he didn't mean it? Because as someone who, I don't think I got to lie about a damn thing, as someone who has experienced that, I am telling you that most women experience that. And don't be shapely and curvy and kind of cute, because my God, like it can be like pretty terrible. So I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing that men and women need to do, we always talk about, oh, protect your daughters. No. Educate your sons and raise better sons. I am big on raising boys who are brought up to respect and protect women. Like, you know, I'll be damned if I ever have a son and I find out that, you know, he was at work making snide sexual comments to a woman that were unsolicited. Like, I am so sure that I would slap the shit out of him. I wouldn't even punch him. I would probably slap him to incur the type of disrespect that I would want him to feel from me if I found that out, because I know that I would have raised him to be better than that. I would have raised him to walk his roommate home, or to walk his homegirl home on the campus without trying to push his way into her door. Like, you know, you need to be the one to make sure she gets in safe, because the world got a whole lot of foolishness for her. Like, you be the one to make sure that she gets back to her car, or, you know, she gets back to her house without trying nothing with her. Right. So that would be the other thing. And I think the last thing would just be to check each other. My ex-boyfriend, I will never forget this. He worked with a guy who got fired for making incredibly crude sexual comments to the women on the job. Well, the day after he got fired, my ex-boyfriend was hanging out at my apartment that day. And all day he's taking calls from this guy who got fired. And I mean, the dude is crying, you know, I can't believe they fired me. And I'm watching my ex-boyfriend give him sympathy for losing his job. And it's starting to burn me up, because I'm like, wait a minute, he got fired for what he did. Like, why is he calling you for sympathy? Like, if anything, you should be telling him, well, bro, you shouldn't have done what you done. Like, I think the dude that said something like, you know, let me see your panties, or something ridiculous to these women.
Oh, that's kind of wild.
Right.
No,
it was something so ridiculous that I was like, that can't be taken any other way, but you were out of line. You were out of pocket. So finally the evening rolls around, and I tell him, I was like, I can't even lie. Like, the fact that you're sitting there, you know, talking this man through his pain for being fired, when I actually want your attention to be on these women that he disrespected and harassed for months before they actually fired him. And it finally clicked in my ex-boyfriend's head, like, yo, I didn't even think about it like that. He was like, honestly, I saw a lot of this stuff going on when we were in the office, but I just never said anything. And I was like, imagine if you had said something. Imagine if you would have pulled your boy to the side and been like, yo, first of all, that shit's not cool. Like, I'm not here for it. If I see you doing it, I'm gonna whoop your ass, or I'm gonna turn you in, or something, right? But again, it goes back to that allyship of the people with power. And in this case, my ex-boyfriend was someone with power because he was someone that this man respected as another man. And I think checking each other, whether it's harassing women, catcalling, you know, cheating on your girl, whatever it is, right? Like hold each other accountable, because I think when that starts to happen, you know, Abe know that he can't go around Rock talking shit and being terrible to his wife. And, you know, like, because you're not going to stand for it. And I think that immediately either makes him change his behavior or makes him find somebody else that's going to put up with it. And hopefully that next person will check him too. Right. So I think holding each other accountable, like, I can't lie. If I see my homegirls doing some shit that I know they're not supposed to be doing, and I know you got a good dude, like, I know you with a person that rocks with you and loves you, I'm gonna call her out on it. And I'm gonna be like ask my sister, I'll be calling her out all the time, because honestly, she trash in relationships. But, you know, I tell her all the time, I'll be like, yo, you got a good person. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, what? Like, it's those of us out here looking for somebody good, and you out here messing over them. Like, be better. So I think calling each other out and holding each other accountable is the last thing I would say, because y'all are going to tend to listen to one another before you do us. And that's not, you know, that's not like talking down to y'all, but that's just kind of the way it tends to work. So I think holding each other accountable and, you know, just saying like, hey, you know, she don't seem like she with it, bro. Like, let's go. Right. A lot for that woman on the other side of it.
Wow, man.
So,
yeah. Like, now I'm trying to think back on previous conversations. It's like, okay, it definitely makes sense.
You was out there wilding a little bit, bro.
Huh?
I'm not producing right.
You don't know say.
That's powerful, man. Oh, that's powerful. I don't want to get off of this. I don't want to get off this, but then I don't want to move on to anything else that would lessen
Take away
this.
from it. Yeah.
Yes, because this was good. But I know
What else were we supposed to talk about?
let's talk about that bomb ass event that y'all threw at AT&T. The round table that you threw.
That works because I think it kind of leads into the what's going on right now with Asian Americans.
Facts. So talk about that a little bit. I had the opportunity to kind of pop in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, and I don't want to dive too much into it to actually explain, but I thought it was completely amazing what y'all, what you were able to put together. If you could just talk about it a little bit before I just start throwing up at the mouth about the event. Yeah.
So the event was called Stories for Racial Healing, and the idea behind it. So I'll back up a little more. So we wanted to do this last year. There's actually an organization that comes to corporate entities to have these conversations. So they kind of proctor a session. The problem was they were charging $25,000 to do this session.
Seriously.
That's right there, Rock. So when I took over as the chief program officer, I kind of looked at the slate and the program rundown, and I was like, I have a really good network across AT&T, people of all colors, all creeds. I feel like we could probably do this on our own if we can figure out how the technology will work. And the point of it was to have conversations that promote racial healing. So difficult conversations, things that are going to make people uncomfortable. I want you to talk about your experiences, discrimination, I don't care how uncomfortable it is. Matter of fact, the more uncomfortable, the better.
Right.
And at first it was supposed to be only like Black people talking, right? But I was like, well, Black people have been talking for, a year now, right? Mm-hmm. George Floyd died and every corporation gave us a platform.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about being Black and how hard it is. And I'm not saying that wasn't important. I do think it was important for our peers and our coworkers to hear what we were going through. But it also became us just talking about our experiences. There was no conversation about, hey, here's what I feel. Tell me how you feel. How can we meet somewhere so that we can have some type of understanding? So I wanted a Latino person, I wanted a Black person, a white person, and either an Asian or a Native American, because both have interesting issues going on right now. Mm-hmm. And so we literally start scouring our Rolodexes, like, hey, who do we know that's open, that's honest, that we know is going to give us that raw? And we start reaching out to people like, hey, I know it's kind of different. Some executives might hop on if you aren't scared. Are you willing to give us insight? And then we had our interviewers, and I really wanted interviewers who were going to dig deep into their backgrounds, their feelings, their emotions, things that they've experienced, and just really their outlook on where America is going. And so the event was actually postponed because of the winter storm here in Texas. Everybody, lost internet, power, all of that. Yep. So we actually postponed it. And we were worried that it wouldn't be well attended because the date changed. But, the day of came, and it was just so amazing because I was the moderator. So it was good to be able to hop into different rooms and to hear the conversations. And one of the most powerful comments I got after we got off the call that day came from a young African-American man. He works in finance at AT&T, and he reached out. And I think he was talking about the Latino guy, Sal. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I never knew that they had been treated just as badly in this country as we were. Mm. And I responded, I was like, that is exactly what this conversation was for. I wanted you to see his experience. I wanted you to hear what he had been through. And that in essence, we're not that different. Like, yeah, he's from south of the border, like we came from across the pond. But at the end of the day, our experiences have been rough in this country. Though different, they have been rough. And so we're actually going to make that one of our quarterly series where we bring in people, who we may bring natives in. It may, turn into who knows what, right? Different sects of African-American culture where one's light skinned and one's dark, one's African, right? And we talk about the differences between our experiences of either being from the motherland or African American with light skin or dark skin. Because I think there's all these nuances, but yeah, was just really grateful to be able to have people come in and just and share their experiences. So what did you think, Ave?
I'm mad I didn't get an invite because I needed this.
No, don't do that. I sent this to y'all. Don't do that.
He picked up the mic though.
yeah. I wish. Nah, I sent it to you and Rudy. Don't do that.
Oh my god,
man! Honestly, I actually thought that event was really, really good. And at first I didn't know if it was for outside people who didn't work for AT&T, but I saw you and Ladrika just promoting it so much on social media, and I was like, well, let me just pop in. And I honestly, I thought it was amazing. It was cool diving into different people's perspectives, because I mean, we have our own shit as Black people that we deal with, so it's easy to kind of get caught in our own bubble of what we deal with, especially when the shit's all over the place. I mean, you know, George Floyd was on the TV for how long, you know, and the Trayvon Martin, all these other people. So it's easy to get caught up in our bubble, but to kind of witness what other races are going through, it was eye opening. It really was. My only thing that is not even really a problem, but what I was like, man, I wish it could have been longer, but I understand why it wasn't long, because, you know, it's during work hours.
It's the work day,
yeah, it's work day. People kind of popping in,
they're
getting their thoughts off. It's quick, you know what I'm saying, and you know, you kind of bounce out and you go back to doing work, because I feel like if it was longer, because honestly, each interviewer and person that was speaking easily could have been an hour.
Yeah, I agree.
Easily could have been an hour, and the longer you're on, the deeper you go. And you know, thankfully for the people who you had interviewing, they were able to get to some of the questions really quick, to where you didn't have to like nitpick and kind of pick away to really get down to some of the root issues that these cultures deal with. But I thought it was amazing. I thought it was, because you mentioned something. You're like, yeah, you know, after George Floyd passed away, you know, all these corporations started coming out like, oh yeah, we should do this, and start posting stuff on social media and all this stuff. But this is the first time where I've actually seen where there was an event like, all right, look, shit's going on with other different races. Let's pop in and let's get shit out on the table on what we deal with as a culture and as, you know, as a race. And I enjoyed it. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did, man. I was just like, man, it was like you'd be into a story, then Melissa will pop in. All right, 2 minutes. Like, hold on, wait, man. Like, we just
wrap this shit up.
Yeah, we just hold on. Like, we get into it, man. And the fact that the people you had, they were just so open with their stories, and just kind of just open and honest, and, you know, just kind of just transparent with the issues that they deal with. It was really powerful, and I hope that the people who, you know, aren't, you know, people of color were able to get something from it. But that nigga is climbing his ass off. She's like, look, Melissa,
you are not getting down.
Look, it's raining. Lights flickering through the window. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but you need to hold me right now until it goes away.
Honestly, like, climbed over my back. Sit down right here.
You dog won't get this lap.
He was like, yo, hold on, man.
50 pounds. That's like me.
Lap dog. Excuse me. I'm going to squeeze in right here real quick. You keep doing your thing. He all on your shoulders and shit. But yeah, man, that was literally my only thing. It was like, gosh, I wish it could be longer. But I understand why it was a 15-minute cap. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you guys are at work and stuff. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, after the event, I hit you and Ladrika, and I was like, yo, this was amazing. I'm glad that y'all put it out there like that for people who didn't work at AT&T to pop in and, you know, just kind of just sit in and stuff. So, it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again. It like you, after the event, I had several people like, hey, when is the next one? And I was like, I really didn't plan on doing the next one, to be honest, but I mean, maybe we could talk about it. But yeah, I think it's something we need specifically. I mean, we were coming off the election, right? I mean, coming off of the Capitol insurrection. It was just a lot of things that had happened. And so, for me, I was just like, dang, you know who I really wanted? I wanted a white man in particular.
Right.
Because I wanted to hear him talk about how he's feeling as someone who has been taught that this is his country and this place is made for you and me, right? It's not you and me, it's him and his brother, right?
Right.
So when you know that, like, they really do think that their country is being taken away and it's being taken over, when it actually what's happening is the rest of us are starting to just get a crumb of what we've worked for, but never really been able to get. But in their head, that is something being taken away from them rather than the pie being shared amongst people who absolutely deserve it. And then there's this rhetoric of, well, I worked hard. If they just worked harder, they could have what I have.
But when we start working harder and we try to get it,
they change the rules.
Oh, y'all stealing my pie. I haven't even got a slice of the pie yet.
They changed the rules, and I think Lupe Fiasco said it. He was like, you get it, so, and then they move it, so you actually never keep enough. And that's exactly how it is. Like it's almost like as soon as we figure it out, I'm gonna change the rules so that this group benefits. And so I had a conversation today with someone about this bootstrap, idea of, if they just pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. I don't think there is anyone I know that is bootstrapped more than I have. And that's not patting myself on the back. That is just saying that I have worked incredibly hard. Like, I could tell y'all about some days where, like, I've worked so hard that I've just been like, God, I just hope this is leading to something. I hope that this is going to get me somewhere, working my way through college and working my way through grad school and putting $3 in my car to drive to Long Beach to go to my night design class. And, just all of these things that I felt like, dang, this is what America told me to do. It told me to work hard and I could get, I could get the American dream, only to come out with $100,000 in debt. So I'm still behind, right? I got the degree. But now I'm still behind. But then I also got to send money home because my family ain't got it. So that puts me back a little bit more. So we had this whole conversation about the bootstrapper thing. And I'm thinking, well, do they really think they work harder than us? Like, I would love to stack my day against anybody's. And I'll say anybody's.
Facts.
And tell me that you work harder than me. But there's this rhetoric that omits the part where all these government-backed housing loans went to them, right? Our parents and our grandparents couldn't get them. And so that turned into wealth. And then they actually devalued our neighborhoods, right? So they're growing wealth. We're just kind of staying still. So we can own houses. Growing debt.
They're growing wealth.
Right. And then so that wealth leads them to be able to send their kids to college and not take on loans. And then when they get married, I can give you a down payment on the house. And then when grandma dies, you're going to get an inheritance. And so it starts to set them up. And this is after 400 years of free labor, right? This is after they done built the country on our back. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, there's this idea of I've worked hard, but they never talk about all of the supplements that they got from their country that was actually taken by our tax dollars to really supplement their home ownership and their loans. And just these amazing things that have allowed them to get ahead. And then you get into corporate America and find out you're getting paid, 89 cents on the dollar for the same job. So it's like, well, you're continuing to increase the wealth gap, and you won't promote me to the places where I can actually start building wealth, where I get equity and I get profit sharing and I start to get stock options. I reserve those places for people who look like me. So there are all of these things that I really want that this series to bring out so that they can begin to understand that, like, it's not that we haven't worked hard. It's not that there's no pipeline of Black talent. Like, it is just that the power is held in a very concentrated demographic. Yeah. And that demographic makes decisions on who they're going to share that wealth with. And oftentimes that decision does not include my Black ass.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that you could find somebody who could have that open and honest conversation for that series.
Right.
Like perhaps like the CEO or some type of chief officer to actually, to say what his perspective is
if I could
versus what our reality is.
Ben and Jerry, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, in all these companies, they talk about diversity, right? But it's enough to pacify us so that we kind of get over it and then they can move back to business as usual. But I think the one of the few companies that I have seen be outwardly outraged by the inequality is, and this is all based on social media, so they might be playing me too, is, the Ben and Jerry's company.
B&J, the ice cream joint. Yeah.
And they bring in actual factual stats about what's happening in this country. And even Ben and Jerry's, when George Floyd, remember, they audited their leadership and was like, damn, we need to do better too. Like, hold on. Like, we got some needles we need to move. But for me, and I don't know what they did, right? I don't know if they put more Black people on their board. I'm not sure. I should probably go update myself on that. But a lot of these companies, they'll say, yeah, we stand with the Black community and we vow to do better, and they'll promote one or two of us. And even those promotions will be, women who wear their hair straight without no curves, who speak mainstream American English and nothing else. And the rest of us are just kind of falling by the wayside. So I've sadly really learned the game. And I think the game has taught me, that it really is about money and it really is about power. And there are ways for us to get there, but I don't always think it's through corporate or through kind of traditional avenues that we were taught to go through. So, Abe knows I've been like freelancing on the side because I'm like, that's how I'm gonna build my wealth. Like that's how I'm gonna get people to pay me what I'm worth. I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's facts. That's facts. You said that you would have hoped to get a white guy on this panel. Did you find it challenging too, or?
I did. I had a couple people who told me they weren't comfortable. I had a couple people, but not just white, right? I had Black people tell me they weren't comfortable. Mm-hmm. But I knew my boy Jonathan Jeter. Shout out to Jonathan. Today's his birthday, actually.
He was cold.
Man,
him and Ladrika, they were probably my best.
That Jonathan Jeter, he is a force to be reckoned with. So I got close to him a couple years ago, but when George Floyd was murdered, that's when him and I really started working closely together on initiatives at AT&T to bring awareness about, diversity issues and really just systemic issues in this country, not just in corporate. But when I reached out to Jonathan, he was like, I got you, whatever you need. Yeah. And he was the one who was like, I was like, man, I need a white guy. Like, what's up? And he was like, I got somebody for you. Reach out to him. And as soon as I reached out to this guy, he was like, yeah, we've met. I was like, all right, cool. And, he just jumped in and he was great. So I think Jonathan was like a beast. And Sal, I don't know if you went into Sal's room, Latino guy.
Yeah, I did.
Man, Sal, I worked in the same group as Sal, but he's a quiet guy. He's very reserved. I never really talked to him, but I would in a minute tap Sal again because I didn't know he had so much information on like, Mexican and Latino revolutions and like, civil rights movements. So I'm in his room just like enthralled. Like yes. I didn't know all of this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the two of them, I would absolutely bring them back potentially to do like maybe their own segments to just kind of talk through their experiences.
Yeah. So Jonathan and Ladrika were probably my favorite room. And I was trying to, because I sat back and I was like, I was trying to think, okay, this can't be my favorite room because this is the Black talk, right? Like, so I was trying to get out of that, but there was so much. I mean, it was like Ladrika was like asking the right questions and he was responding, and he was just speaking on different perspectives, not just as a Black guy, but as a Black gay male. And so he just kind of just delved into so much. And Sal, he was the interview where I was like, man, these segments aren't long enough because you could tell he just has so much knowledge. And if we could just have just 30 minutes, 45 minutes to just really just dive in, especially if we were able to answer some of the questions that were being asked from the people who were just watching in the audience.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, this is a really good event. This is a really good event. Yeah,
I might try to do it in person, no lie, now that like people are starting to get vaccinated. So I'm thinking like there's a way to do it where, you know, we can make it a vibe, right? Like Fife can come DJ and then we kind of break the segments up. But I think it would be cool to have the interviewers on stage, you know, 2 at a time, kind of have some general questions and then be able to have the audience jump in and ask questions. And I think that allows us at least to make this, because I think when you're doing virtual, it's hard to have like a 2-hour session.
Sure.
But if you're in person and you can grab some food and grab a drink and you with your homie, and, you know, there's a DJ kind of in between breaking up the monotony of the talking. I think there's a really fun way to do this and allow people to get some information and then also mix amongst each other. So you start to draw, you know, people who probably wouldn't mix with each other in any other setting.
Sure.
Into the same place in South Dallas. And, you know, I'm always here for pouring money into South Dallas. So yeah, I'm thinking, you know, maybe this summer, if we get back to some type of normalcy, we'll do it in person, where, you know, it maybe just turns into a day party afterwards or something like that. And you can just have that conversation, you know, and allow people to experience each other's culture. So I thought like, okay, we'll have like a couple DJs, right? One that'll play like some art music, one that'll play like, you know, some like, you know, Latino type of swag.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just so that we can all just kind of mix in different ways.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
sounds dope.
I think that would be
I'm definitely
very
down for
interesting.
that.
I think that'd be
Different food options. Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, another lady who was on the panel, because I want to say I went to all 4, but for some reason the 4th person is leaving my mind. You had 4, right? Okay, I'm trying to think of who the 4th person. I know you had the Asian woman.
Yep.
That was another interview where I was like, man, I wish there was more time, because I feel like she would have been able to speak more on what was going on, because like I said, we had COVID going on, you had Trump just leaving office, you know, with coronavirus, calling it the China virus, and now that he's out, and we're kind of getting into this new realm of Asian hate, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that would have been a really, really good conversation to dive into. You know, with her and all this stuff. But, you know, I mean, kind of rolling into that a little bit. I mean, have y'all been keeping up with what's been going on with the Asian hate and how? I mean, I think one guy had went into like different salons in
Atlanta.
Yeah, different massage places, which was they ain't gonna say I'm not targeting. Really, when everybody who died was Asian. And then you had the police chief for Atlanta come out and say, we talked to him. We feel like he was having a bad day. He was at the end of the ropes. That's every day for us. That's every day for a lot of people, not just black people. Everybody had a tough day at the end of the ropes, but that would give us right to go out and kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about, man? So, again, another situation where when the killer's white, he's treated as a human being. They make excuses for him. But anytime it's black, he's a thug. He's Latino. Anybody other than white, he's a criminal immediately. When the killer's white, who's had a bad day, who's at the end of his rope, what else could he do? Let's lot of other shit.
Burger King, yeah.
I'm curious to find out how long exactly this has been going on, because this whole coronavirus thing and Donald Trump calling it the China virus, right, has been going on since early last year. And to just hear that, you know, some of these hate crimes are happening now that he's out of the office, and now that we have a vaccine and people are getting vaccinated, it's kind of weird to think that this is taking place or is starting to take place now.
It didn't just start though.
Yeah, it's just being reported on now. Because like last year, I want to say it was the amount of hate crimes for Asians was 8 times as high as what it normally is last year.
Yep.
So it's just had to been reported on. from a mainstream perspective. I was watching one thing on CNN where a reporter was coming back from somewhere, and she was not physically assaulted, but verbally assaulted 3-4 times before she even got on the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So it just hasn't been mainstream talked about, but it's been going on a lot.
I mean, but think about like how let me not put myself in that number, but how Americans treated Muslims after 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
very true.
That rhetoric caused people to believe that somehow I got to wear this mask because of you, right?
Right. Yeah.
Our freedoms are being infringed on because of you and your people. And so, yeah, like this isn't anything that's new. This started. And I mean, honestly, before Corona, right? Before COVID, the way he talked about China and the way they couldn't do anything, right? And we were going, bust China in the face and all Mexicans, right? They were rapists and drug dealers who were coming across the border and he was going to build a wall and they were going to pay for it. and just all of this stuff. So people who are easily susceptible to his rhetoric, I can completely see why they would see an Asian and immediately think this is your fault because my president said that if it had not been for y'all being alive and eating bats, or whatever this story was, right?
Yeah.
None of this would be. And so, and I'm with you, Rock. When I heard that fool say that he had a bad day,
that was wild.
Every day of my life, shit. I'm living check to check. You had a bad what?
A bad day, and you decided to go take people out. And let me all go on and bust out BuzzFeed real quick because I fool with BuzzFeed. Like I actually like a lot of their like in-depth reporting pieces where they just do good journalism a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the piece that they did talking about the victims highlighted the one white woman who was killed. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all are just as bad as this police officer who said this man had a bad day. Like, point out the fact that he targeted Asian American women. Like, point that out because it's important. It's important the way that they are over and hypersexualized. It's important the way that, they are fetishized by a lot of people, white men included. Mm-hmm. And so to hear somebody talk about, well, he had some sexual frustrations that he was trying to take care of. Let's get to the root of that. That's a symptom of the sickness. That's not the sickness. What he did was a symptom of something that's much deeper of I keep saying we, because I mean society, but how people see Asian women or Black women or exotic women or whatever. Right. And so when you can't have them when you want it, you just gonna go shoot them. Like that, and we see the same thing with trans people, right? Men who like trans women. But if I mess with a trans woman, I'm going to be considered gay. So to take care of this issue that I have with this sexual attraction, I'm going to just go on and murder her. So she can't never tell nobody that I mess with her.
Which is wild.
It's wild. It is wild. So let's talk about what it actually is get comfortable with your sexuality. Get comfortable with whatever it is you got going on. Deal with these fetishes that you have. America needs to get out of this whole Protestant Christian, be abstinent until you get married bullshit.
Missionary only. Yeah, crazy shit like that.
Because these men turn into rapists and weirdos who don't know how to figure out what they like and how to deal with what they like.
And how to be okay with what they like.
Yeah.
I had a Facebook friend who actually posted this on his story, and I was actually very proud of him. But he posted, he was like, I have to admit, like, I'm attracted to trans women. He was like, it was something I used to fight, but it's an attraction I have, and I don't see anything wrong with it. And a lot of people were in his comments like, hey, like, I support you, brother. Like, love is love. And I thought that, and he's Black. I want to point out, because, we can be some of the most homophobic people on the earth.
Boy, trust me, I got some partners that are wild homophobic.
But, I saw a lot of people like applauding him, like, thank you, because this is actually creating safety for other men who are attracted to trans women. to be okay with that and not feel like they have to hide it or cover it up by way of murder sometimes. That they have this attraction.
There's so many other steps that you can take before you get to that point, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's the denial thing, right? Because it's like, man, I can't like this. I grew up my whole life liking women, or you know what I'm saying?
What my
like,
boys
why is
say.
this?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what my boys gonna say. I mean, shit, we're already around each other, cracking on them, but deep down inside, they don't know shit. I like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I work with them.
Yep.
So it's this internal fear of like, one, you probably hating yourself, right? Doubt. Then what are your boys gonna think about that? That's a lot of shit. I mean, especially as black men, because we already deal with the fact that people are gonna look at us sideways anyway. And so, what you like dudes? What you like transgenders? Oh, nigga, that shit.
Yep.
Nah.
There can't be any softness in you. There can't be anything outside of hypermasculinity. And I actually like kind of weep for black men because y'all don't get to explore your sexuality as freely as others. So like black women, we can explore our sexuality and black men love it, right? Like y'all think it's the best thing ever for a black woman to say, you know what, I'm gonna see what my homegirl hitting on. Like, but if a black man did that, a black woman wouldn't talk to you. Your boys don't want to talk to you.
That's my out quick.
Like, yeah, first time. Oh, you did it? What? Nah.
Yeah, you
From
done.
there, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but women can like
That's
we
your
can
staple.
explore
That's
all
your
we
stamp.
want, and it's actually like oftentimes it's like fetishized by cisgender straight men. Yeah.
Guess what? But we killed Tank. Didn't Tank came out? Hey man, a guy can suck dick twice. What? You do it one time.
And even that was taken. I feel like that was blown out of proportion because apparently he was talking about something else.
Yeah, that was a whole conversation around it. But they took that one clip. You tried what?
Yep.
Nigga.
It's crazy. Well, yeah, I definitely feel like y'all don't have the same freedoms when it comes to exploring, and if you do decide to explore, I think there's such a threat of being exposed that it can turn to violence and just these extreme measures. And religion plays a big role in it for us. Cultural, there's a big role. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was raised to think you got to marry a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes and make little Aryan babies. And maybe he was attracted to Asian women and he was like, shit, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be carrying on my genes and, marrying someone who looks like me so I can make little people that look like me. And so, and I found out that there is a lot of pressure on them for like to continue the race. Like
really?
There's actually a lot of pressure on them to procreate, to marry
I believe that
and procreate so that they can continue to be the dominant race.
I can believe that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've seen that a lot where like, he got a black mistress over here, but his wife who he's having kids with, like you got to be Aryan, right? As white as can be. Keep the bloodline pure.
Because every other race is if you got to drop a black, you black.
Ask Meghan Markle, right? She just went through it.
And that was enough.
Ask her about it. And she mixed.
And she's mixed. I'm real.
She mixed. Imagine me being up in the
like what's good? Yeah, this
I'm giving you a little brown baby. Don't worry about it.
You got to worry about it. We know what color he gonna be.
Baby gonna be a sprinter. As far as you know. Yeah.
Man, I didn't catch the interview. I was wanting to watch it, but just the clips that I heard of what she had to deal with from the royal family, suicide. I believe it too.
Man, yeah. They talking about we're not racist.
But how many black people has been
America
in that institution?
Is your child. You gonna tell me you not racist?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers came from over there over here, and these niggas are racist.
Y'all the daddy. How you gonna tell us that? You kidding me? What?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, for real, man. Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was like 3 different things that I just want to just branch off on, but I can't because we're almost already 2 hours in. See, this is why I said earlier that the intervals in which you come in and pop in
needs to be more.
Y'all need to invite me more. Don't hold.
Oh, so what happened last time?
You got your mic now. You got your mic now. You got a new mic, so you can really pop in this mug.
Oh, look, we see you.
Yeah, man, it's way out of there too. It's picking you up good.
Is it okay? Good. I was wondering what the sound was like. Good.
I don't have my water.
We picking her up. That's for sure.
Boy, I'm saying she just won't like. Here, take
got
this.
a telegrams too.
Just take it with you. Just take it in the room with you.
I'm gonna order me a salad for dinner. I've been eating kind of crazy.
I have too. I've been trying to do right. I'm trying to get back fit. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that we're skating. My list is supposed to be skating. She don't want to skate no more.
Y'all don't invite me. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, so I know you ain't finna pull that.
No lie. So no. Okay, so I gotta go to LA this weekend for the party, but then I am still for a while. So I've been looking at my skates in the laundry room. Like I need to get out there. But yeah, like I don't know when the next time John coming up. Look, let me tell you, Rock. Me and Abe be trying to figure out where John get this energy from because we're the same age, but John has the type of energy that I almost think he on cocaine. Like
you said it, but you said it first. Thank you.
I don't like. How do you work a whole day, drive from Houston,
3.5 hours,
and then be like, "Y'all going skating tonight? Why aren't you in bed?" Like,
yeah, bro.
See,
you had a full day. What are you talking about going skating?
Are these on calls or texts?
Text. He texted
because if you call me, you can hear this. Oh.
I worry.
You hear him doing the bump.
I'm like, does he sleep? Because I don't. Is he one of those people that only needs 3 or 4 hours of sleep?
It gotta be, because anytime I message him, regardless of how late it is, he's bouncing back with a text message. So I don't know what type of adrenaline he got rolling through his veins.
I mean, some people are like that. Like my sister, she can 4 or 5 hours and she good to go. I'm an 8, 9, 10 hour girl, me personally.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now, don't slow down.
It's past your bedtime, actually.
Once you slow down, that's when you're gonna start to lose it.
What? Don't slow down?
Yeah, because like once he starts stopping and breaking, it's like, you know what, I'm tired now.
No, and my thing is I can go steady, right? 14, 16 hours, but for me, I'm gonna be moving that entire time. Like my day is going to be packed.
It has to be constant.
Yeah,
but I got a break in there.
Oh yeah, no, because it's a nap. Like yeah, but for me, like I mean, Abe knows. Like I pretty much shut my house down around 10. Like I'm talking lights off. I'll get into bed. I might not go to sleep till about 11:30, but these dogs know. So what is it? It's going to be 9 o'clock soon. They'll start to get in their beds because they know, like, we about to shut it down in a minute.
You gotta let them dogs live.
She shuts the whole house down. I didn't know.
Right. Because
I've always just needed my rest. I'm no good when I don't sleep. The only person I know that sleeps more than me, y'all, is my cousin Chantel. My cousin sleeps probably closer to 10 hours a night, but she needs it. Like she can't function. But one of the most successful people I know, like you ain't gonna never be able to call her a slacker. Like just bought a brand new Porsche off the lot, like it wasn't nothing.
Better
God bless her.
You better stun on them shit.
So she was the person who taught me like not to be ashamed of like needing to rest. Cause the culture of like, oh, you gotta hustle 24/7. Like
no
you have me out here dead. Nah.
Seriously.
So yeah. So it's not quite my bedtime, but I got here go my niece. Come say hi to the people. She's from LA.
What's
Way
good?
In the background.
We see you back there. What's good with you?
Eating Oreos.
How are you? See, you should have had her on the show.
She on the show.
What's going? How you? Well, she in the background though. Like she ain't in the conversation.
Right.
She with her friends right now. They love her.
Oh, that's what's up. That's my boy in the black.
That was dangerous. He'll jump on you. I don't like it.
He be in bed with her. Like I go in there and I'm like, where's my dog? And he look up at me like, what you want?
Right. You ain't gonna hold me like this.
What can I do for you?
Did y'all check out Burger I Am? How was that? Did y'all have a chance to go?
Yeah, we went. So she had a couple illegal moments that I probably won't. Well, my sister will see it on the show once it airs. But yeah, so we went to Burger I Am. I'm not thinking, right? She just made 16. So we roll up. Gabe is DJing, you know, they got the hookah people out. Cool. I walk up. I was like, oh, Gabe, this is my niece. He was like, oh, hey, what's up? And he called me back over a minute later. He was like, hey, tell your niece to keep her mask on. I was like, why? He was like, you're not supposed to have nobody under 21 here after 10. I was like, okay. So I like go inside.
Put your mask on.
Yeah, so we hungry. So I'm like, we here, we gonna eat whatever. So I go inside to order the food and I tell her, I was like, keep your mask on. The general manager, Lord, they not gonna never let me in Burger I Am. Love you, Wes. Love you. So the general manager is taking my order and she's like, you know these people out there? And I look out and it's like a group, they got kids with them. And I was like, no, I ain't never seen them before. And she was like, yeah, I think they from out of town. They would like a business group, a black owners business group. And I was like, yeah, she was like, well, they can't come in here because they got kids. And I was like, yeah, I don't know why people would bring children out here. Like,
these are irresponsible parents.
For real.
Irresponsible.
And she got a fresh 16.
The whole time she taking our order, she was like, that's ridiculous. Like, we shut it down at 10. Like, we give them an extra hour to get them babies home. No, this is grown folks' time. And I'm like, exactly.
Damn right it's grown folks' time.
Get the kids out of here.
And here's the worst part. So I was like, so yeah, let me get an Impossible Burger. Let me get the combo. And let me get the cheeseburger kids meal.
Like that.
No,
I was like, yeah, my homegirl.
She
said she wasn't gonna eat a lot. She want the kids meal.
She want the kids meal.
What kind of drink she want? I was like,
what kind of toy she want? What kind of toy she want?
Man. But no, so that was cool. She got to like experience a little grown up time, and then we had a little get together at my house yesterday for a friend who's moving back to Atlanta. And man, Uber Eats rolled up. So we cooking out, right? Drika barbecuing. We good. We eating. And a car pulls up and she was like, y'all know somebody in a white Dodge? I was like, no, I don't know nobody in a white Dodge. So dude comes and brings like a bag full of KFC to the door. So I'm like, well, maybe somebody sent it, right? Because I had friends that were supposed to come, but they got new babies. They didn't want to be out. So maybe somebody just sent us some food. They knew we were cooking out. And I was like, anybody order KFC? And my homegirl Naya was like, yeah, I ordered it. I believed her. So we started divvying up the biscuits. You know, you got to call the biscuits first from KFC. We got honeys being slathered on them and everything at this point. The car pulls back up. I'm like, okay. My boy Vic goes to the door with a wing in his mouth. And he was like, y'all eating that chicken? And Vic was like, it's good too. He was like, man, I dropped it off at the wrong house. I was like, damn. Oh, sorry, bro.
I'm going to tell you about that one.
I mean, I couldn't do nothing for him at that point. I was like, that chicken has been dug in and them biscuits are done. Like, I can't even give you this bag in good conscience. So we eating this chicken. I was like, he's just gonna have to take a L. Whoever ordered it, you know, they just gonna have to get their money back. Cause I hit Uber Eats all the time for a refund.
Yeah.
So then I would say about an hour later, this lady rolls up on the side door, you know, my sliding door. She rolls up and she was like, did they deliver that chicken here? He was like, yeah. She was like, that was my chicken for my mom and my daddy. And I was like, I'm sorry, sis. Like I can't even do nothing for you. Oh, Abe said lightning struck and killed the power.
Yeah, he out of here.
Damn. But yeah, so my niece had two opportunities to see how well-to-do raggedy black folks live.
Sneaking into clubs and stealing chicken.
Sneaking her in the clubs and stealing chicken and biscuits. There you go. That's it. Texas in a nutshell.
Just like niggas. The worst two things to do. Boy, just feed that stereotype on. Man,
I'm here for it. Hey, so let me know for real when I'm gonna come back. I know we talked about this before COVID hit, but like I'm gonna come slide through more often for real.
You are unofficial official.
I'm telling you. I'm just trying to have like a residency. That's it.
You already got it. We done told you this 100 times. Whenever you ready, just say the word and you on.
Hey, I'm here for it. I think it's a lot of good insight that we could put out there. No lie, a lot of good stuff that people need to hear from, and I hate to, talk about respectability politics, but I think it does matter. Like, when you are
absolutely
educated and well-to-do, people tend to listen to you more. And I think because of that, we have a responsibility to bring things to the light because, you do have a platform and you do have a voice. So I'm always here for it. I haven't been blogging the way I need to, but, been doing my work in other ways. So would love to come step in with you brothers more often.
Whenever you free, just let us know. You're always welcome.
Man.
We always have a good conversation when you're here.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to start shutting it. I'm going to order some salad first and then I'm going to shut it down.
Okay. Well, make sure that it's your salad when it get there.
You being cute, but all right.
Oh, you can tell. I did go on breastfeed a little bit before I came on. I'll take that.
Man, all right. Well, let's pray for Abe because I know he over there with that baby in the dark. So I'm gonna check on him.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Speak to Line Podcast. If you haven't heard of some of our older episodes, go check us out where you listen to podcasts. Google, Apple Play Store, Spotify. If nothing else, this is JRock. Join with the beautiful and always welcome Black Girl Fly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love y'all. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Peace.
Hey.